It's the middle of the summer season here at the Disneyland Resort, and where Disneyland is having a battle with ride closures throughout the park, here at DCA, things are wide open. Join us as we tour the entire park, every ride and every attraction, as we keep you informed of what's happening at the Disneyland Resort. This is our State of DCA report. Super excited to be back here at Disney California Adventure today for our State of DCA report, and I hope you're ready for what I hope to be a fun and informative trip through the parks. I'm expecting a pretty casual vibe from the crowds today, and probably lighter than usual wait times due to the fact that the lower tier Magic Keys are still blocked out for July. As a matter of fact, let's check that vibe. Take a walk down Buena Vista Street. 2:30 p.m. on this Friday afternoon as we head down Buena Vista Street. Temperature's not too bad. It's only 79 degrees out right now, but it is muggy as heck. Well, for at least for California or Southern California standards, I get this all the time. Like, I don't know heat, but you know, I live here in this condition on a regular basis, so this is our normal. 79 and muggy is a warm and uncomfortable day here in Southern California in Orange County. There's our first red car trolley today. Wonderful. Oh, I hear 5 and the dime. Oh, that's great. They're still here, you guys. They're still here. We've talked in the past about some show cuts that they've been doing, both here on Buena Vista Street and in Adventures Campus, and there's going to be another cut coming that we'll get into a little later. But 5 and dime are still here performing at Carthay Circle. She's great. I love her. Take a tour though around the circle. Pick up some of those good times. I like that. Hey guys! Ladies and gentlemen, I love them. Hey look, our second red car trolley for the day. Let's go to Hollywood. Feel good so far, man? I got a smile on my face. What is it about the 5 and dime in particular, that dime, that makes me happy? I don't know. I just love that show, and she is great. Pretty standard crowd. Oh, is that? Oh, I don't think I've ever seen a Disney Junior queue before, or is it just letting out? There we go. The show is just letting out. I've never seen this many people on Hollywood Boulevard at this point. Usually it's dead right here. They had a full house in there for Disney Junior. Another event, another show that we don't really ever cover in terms of what's happening here at DCA. They don't have a lot of rides, but they do have, you know, a few shows. We talked about Mickey's Philhar Magic in our last report. That's always just, you know, you walk right in and you can catch the next show. Animation building, it's a little bit more difficult to see those shows sometimes. Sometimes you will not make it into the Animation Academy or Turtle Talk with Crush. Sometimes you have to wait for the second show, the next show, which could be, what, 15 or 20 minutes? So far, I am digging this vibe that we're getting right now on Buena Vista Street and Hollywood Boulevard. Hopefully it continues for the rest of the day. Did they? There's a churro, no, not a churro cart. The turkey legs were here, weren't they? Did they take that cart out? Churro cart. That's where they had turkey legs and corn, right? You guys remember when Bob Chapek made a joke about how the Disney superfans get freaked out if they move a churro cart 10 feet? And I was like, you shut up, Bob. You be quiet. They took the turkey leg cart. Let's see what's up here. At Mike and Sully to the rescue. It feels quiet. Before we can get in there, it feels kind of quiet. This event is ending, by the way, in like 2 weeks, right? What day is it? It is the 12th. It's going to be over on the 5th. So we got another 3 weeks to go. Oh my God, 3 weeks to go of literally nothing happening here for Pixar Fest at Club Pixar. It's kind of depressing. It's really kind of, I don't think I could take any more of this. How could they take any more of this? What can only be described as a flop, right? Pixar Fest is kind of a flop. Never mind that. That story's already worn out. Let's go check out Mike and Sully to the rescue, where it is posted at 20 minutes. I think that's the lowest posted wait time that I have ever seen while doing a State of DCA report. We do have a bit of a backup here though, a little bit of one, maybe 30, 40 guests, maybe more in Lightning Lane. Oh yeah, look at this, dude, this is why I don't like the back lot. Look where I am, look, what am I saying? What is this? What even is this? I don't even know. I don't think I've ever really talked about that part of it, why I don't like the back lot. That's one of the key reasons. We're running at about half. Hey, how are you? Running about a half capacity here in the queues. So, hey, how are you? It could be 20 minutes. I think I've timed it. We talked about this last week. Like one planner is about maybe 10 minutes, maybe 8 to 10 minutes, depending on what's happening with Lightning Lane. And so you can, if you can get through, let's see, there's 3 planners here. I mean, maybe, I don't know, probably not 20. That feels low. That feels really low, actually, especially with this group of Lightning Lane here. They're going to mess things up, but they'll clear that out in a jiff as well. One thing before we leave Monsters Inc., because this is like the prime example of something that I have talked about a lot in the past about the things that I don't like about the backlot, is that it's a studio backlot is where they film movies, real movies. They have fake facades, right? Fake buildings, fake fronts, and that's part of the show. And so you can go ahead and take a tour of a backlot, right? That's fun, Universal Studios. This is a copy of that. It's a fake of a fake. Leaves you is situations like this where we've got this fake facade out here. That's the Mike and Sully facade, and then the fake background, and this fake thing right here. And it looks terrible. It looks absolutely not classy. It doesn't look good at all. And it's something that I feel like they overvalue. They have done this more than once in the past. They overvalued people's desire to be in a studio backlot, which they do, but they want to be in a real one. Okay, that's the point I'm making. People do want to be, they want to know what it's like to, in a film studio, but they want to be in a real one, not a fake one. It just looks terrible to me. And I don't feel like I'm in anything. It looks half-ass. All right, we'll get off that soapbox for now. Keep moving through the Hollywood backlot, which, like I said, there's kind of nothing happening back here right now. It's kind of dead. They got 3 more weeks to go on this Pixar Fest, which, oi. Oh man, I hope they can figure out something better for the next event, because I feel like the Star Wars, I can't remember the name of that event now. Oh my gosh, I feel like that was kind of a fail also. Make our way to Avengers Campus next with a stop at the Hyperion Theater, where there are still no shows, no signs of shows, absolutely no word about any kind of shows. The only words I'm hearing are not good ones. I don't think that we are anywhere at all close to seeing a show here at the Hyperion Theater. We saw the marquee just now. It said some kind of dance troupe is here. So they're hosting events, but it's not a show. And I don't think that there's any reason to be optimistic about a show coming here anytime soon, for a myriad of reasons, financial, budget kind of things, but also, the issues that they're having with the performers unions. And now they haven't. Do I even talk about the potential strike? There's a vote coming up in a couple of weeks. These are the people who are voting to strike now are not performers, as I understand it, although I'm not positive which ones, but I don't think they are. The new union that just formed, they wouldn't strike right away. Or maybe you do form a union. I'm not union, I don't know. But you tell me, is it logical to form a union so you can strike? So that you can get everybody together and say, okay, now we're gonna quit? I don't know if that's the way it operates or not. But suffice it to say, this is going to be a monumental, colossal waste of space here at DCA for quite some time. There's nothing happening here. Hey, look, the Five and Dime have followed me back here.
The ice and the snow, all innocent children, and the coffee beware. She's like the spider waiting for the Cruella.
Now, let's go to Avengers Campus. Starting with Mission Breakout, where I see a very sedate looking scene. A lot of folks catching their breaths here, their collective breath, as it were, out here in front of the attraction. It doesn't look too crazy from this perspective. Absolutely nobody in the lightning lane here. Nobody here, nobody in there. Just a few guests walking in. They're gonna go straight into the attraction. Standby has shown up. Posted 55-minute wait time, and we've arrived already at the back of the queue. Not a good look if you're looking to go standby here. Although, I mean, it's moving because there's nobody in lightning lane. This is still a very, very, very deep queue. Meanwhile, they're using most of the exterior queue out here. That's almost completely full. I mean, it is good news that they're not out here in the extended queue, but you're gonna be out here typically only if there is some lightning lane. There is still, though, the issue with the third elevator. That is still down, that's still under repair, and that's the reason why what looks like a fairly standard, normal-looking queue for standby with pretty much no lightning lane influence. They're still at a 55-minute wait. That's probably best case scenario at this time of day. You're in the middle of the afternoon now. It's like 3 o'clock as I record this, I think. You know what, let me check. 3:01, my goodness, my clock is good. It is 3:01, and yeah, this is probably not the ideal time to be checking out attractions such as Mission Breakout, or basically any large e-ticket or, you know, heavy-duty lightning lane attraction. But having said that, that's probably, you know, about as good as it's going to get this time of day. We will not be able to, in this very moment, gauge the crowd density here in the land itself because the Warriors of Wakanda and Black Panther are on the scene, which is obviously going to draw a bit of a crowd. But it's good to see that the Warriors are still here. Their schedule has been limited. They're down to 5 days a week rather than 7 days a week. But so far we have not seen any more additional cuts for entertainment here at Avengers Campus. Cuts in addition to the Avengers Assemble show that they do at the Avengers headquarters back there. That's also 5 days a week, but a different 5 days. Friday, today is one of those days where they don't have a show, but they do have Warriors of Wakanda here. And then obviously the Doctor Strange show is over completely. This show is completely and unequivocally canceled. It is not happening anymore. All shows have ended as of June 30th. This is now a vacant space, a place to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's beautiful. Isn't this space beautiful? Purpose built for the Doctor Strange show. You know, it was one of the draws, one of the things that, you know, they were like, come to Avengers Campus and see Doctor Strange. That was just a few years ago. That was just a few years ago. I just can't help. Sometimes I try to process that and I have a hard time with it. I have a hard time processing that they cut. That's like just closing in a whole attraction. That was marquee material. Doctor Strange show was in the trailer, right, of the whole land, as was the Warriors of Wakanda. And you know, I don't know why. I really don't know why, because it seemed like it drew a crowd. It sold out. It was full. I mean, the shows were all full. I don't know, man. Let's check out Web Slingers. And again, just like we found at Mission Breakout, we've hit the back of the queue just as soon as we cross the threshold. And it's posted at 35 minutes, which is curious, which I have to believe that's because they're not back there in the bullpen behind the blue walls there. This is curious. That's a pretty healthy queue for 35 minutes, even if they're not using that extended part of the queue. Especially when you see that they've got half of the pen here full for Lightning Lane, and there's more guests out here getting ready to enter the attraction for Lightning Lane. And matter of fact, when I walked by here earlier when I was shooting B-roll, this queue went around the corner a little bit, and somehow they want to call that 35 minutes. And it came down actually. When I walked by here earlier, it was at 45. Somehow they're calling this 35 minutes. You know, I know that this is not the most popular attraction, the Web Slingers attraction. I know people don't like it, and they felt like they wanted something more out of this. But I'm still really curious. I feel like it is still one of those attractions that needs analysis, that needs to be understood, because it's hard to tell what is a really good queue here and what isn't. It's one of those attractions that kind of confuses me with respect to, hey, hi guys, with respect to the public response, because I hear nothing but negative. I've never heard anybody go, oh, I love Web Slingers, it's my favorite ride. You never hear that. You only ever hear the complaints about it, and yet it's consistently 35 minutes or more. 35 is light for Web Slingers. 35 is not that bad. We routinely see this at 45, 55, 60 minutes, you know, and it's not even like it's a huge draw for Lightning Lane typically. There was some there just now, but it is often the case you don't see a lot of Lightning Lane out there. Say you hate this ride, and yet it's always busy. I wonder what would happen if or when they build the new e-ticket, the third attraction for Avengers Campus over there behind the Avengers headquarters. I wonder what will happen to attendance at Web Slingers when that attraction opens sometime in the distant future when I'm dead. I jest, of course, because they've been talking about that since they opened the land. Before that, when they announced the land, they were talking about that other attraction. Still, all we've seen is 2 pieces of concept art. I jest, of course, but do expect an announcement regarding the Avengers e-ticket at D23 this year. That is the collective rumor that I'm hearing. It is going around and picking up momentum. We should be hearing something about the e-ticket at Avengers Campus at D23 this year. Oh my gosh, we should probably hear about New Tomorrowland too, right? Let's go to Cars Land. And Route 66. First stop will be Tomater's Junkyard Jamboree, where there is a posted wait time of 15 minutes. Pretty much standard. Every time we come here, it's the most consistent attraction in the history of DCA, at least. I mean, that is hardly anybody in the queue right now. I still don't know what they're doing back there with whatever's going on behind that fence. That used to be queue back there, and they have blocked that off. I can't see anything in there. I have no idea. It's been like that for months now. But yeah, 15 minutes. That's it, man. As for Route 66 right here, it's kind of quiet actually. I think it's because Raider Springs Racers is closed. I was shooting B-roll first, and I noticed that there was nothing happening at Raider Springs, so it could be that. That could be, you know, a lot of people just bailed on Cars Land when that happens. And same thing here. This looks really, really quiet. There's no meet and greet happening right here. There's just very little action out there on the street. Even less action in here at the Cozy Cones. Although there is a queue still to get some soft serve, which is outstanding. Their soft serve here is great. No line for churros. But yeah, 15 people there to get soft serve, but you can mobile order. So don't forget that. You can mobile order here. Just a couple folks there for con queso, concoctions also, super light. Just a handful of guests there, and nobody, as is usually the case, nobody in the popcorn queue. I mean, look at that. This might be the deadest I've ever seen Route 66. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm trying to say that it's dead here. I think that it is entirely due to Radiator Springs Racers being offline right now. If it were running, matter of fact, hopefully it is running by the time we get out here so we can see the difference. We'll check in on flows. It's 324, definitely off peak, but still a bit high. Still a few guests here, still 10 or 15 guests in the queue. That's figure 2 minutes per group. So you're looking at, I'm guessing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 groups there out of all that. So you're looking at 10 or 15 minutes. What do you want to bet that there's going to be a longer than usual queue at Luigi's right now, because they're all spilling over. For some reason they don't go to Mater's, they only go to Luigi's. That's my guess right now. And I think I can see guests in there. It's posted at 30 minutes. And there you go, that's an immediate turnaround and come back some other time. Not that I am against waiting 30 minutes for any attraction, even Luigi's. Not that I'm against that, but again, I could find a better value, I could find a better opportunity at some other time. I could go do something else. I mean, it's not a big park. It's kind of a small park, so I could go find somebody else and come back to Radiator Springs in a little bit and try it again. Yeah, it's a literal desert out here in front of Radiator Springs, though. Definitely has a closed, don't come in vibe. This is for sure an X attraction. This attraction is no more today, right now. Yeah, it's dead. They got 6, 8 cast members out here. Dead, nothing. You know, I don't have a lot of experience, a lot of reps in dealing with breakdowns. Breakdowns happen often at Rise of Resistance, and you could actually watch it happen, and you can kind of see how things flow from there. But at Radiator Springs Racers, something that we talk about, I may have already put that video out today, or this week. Before this one, we did our 30 rides on Radiator Springs Racers, and you know, it's often a hack that people try to use to try to beat the queue. It's much more difficult to do here because they often will just leave people in the queue. They don't dump the queue very often unless they know it's going to be closed for a while. So one of the things I would do is, if there was a breakdown, I would go look over here at the queue. Something I would suggest, I would say, go look at the queue and see if you can, are there still people in there? And if there's still people in there, then know that, yes, although there is a breakdown and people might have left, you were still going to have a whole mess of people to compete with in there, who have held, you know, they hold on, they stay in the queue often. Plus, you're going to have Lightning Lane come back. They're all going to want to cash in on their Lightning Lane. As soon as that attraction reopens, they're going to be out here on the spot. But one thing you want to find out, if you can, is how long it's already been closed. And I asked the cast member, they said it's been down for about 45 minutes. Not a good sign. When you see Radiator Springs Racers closed for 45 minutes, and that they have emptied the queue, they sent everybody out. They didn't give them the option to hang out. That's a very bad sign. It's gonna be a while before they get anybody into Radiator Springs Racers today. Which takes us next then to San Francisco. This is my favorite part of the journey. Isn't that strange? I just love coming through here. I can't shut up about it. I don't know when or how that could have happened. It's just like Toontown. I just love what they did to Toontown, and I just love what they did to Pacific Wharf, aka San Francisco. Hi guys, these guys are waiting for Baymax, obviously. I hope he shows up soon. Baymax is back. But this is just, I don't know why I love this so much. Cocina though, guys, mobile order. Cocina's got that's 45 minutes, you guys. That's 45 minutes that you're not gonna get back. Meanwhile, I can go on the app, and right now, I could place my order on the app right now. I could literally place an order. You know what? I'm gonna do that right now. Watch this. So we'll try that one more time. I'm recording the queue while I do this. Nobody's moving. This is very difficult to do with one hand. Come on. What I'm looking for is a change in the first available window to 3:40 or now. There it is now. Oh, it's the same exact time. And so I can hit I'm here, prepare my order, and then we'll wait a few minutes to find out how long to, to get our horchata. But I'm gonna guess it's not gonna be very long. Stand by. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to just stand here next to this tree and keep recording, although I'm sure that our editor will speed through some of this at least while I'm speaking to you, talking over this music, because this is copyright protected music that's playing here at San Francisco. But I will go ahead and take this opportunity now that I'm standing here waiting for my horchata to be prepared, that I absolutely love J-pop. I love J-pop. It is the best ever, and more so than any other kind of pop. J-pop is my favorite because it's fun and happy and a good time, and it makes me feel good, and so that's good. Still standing by for the order processing. And there it is. It is 3:41. I can now make my way, pardon me, to window number 3 to pick up my horchata. At that time, by the way, I will say that the queue has moved about 4 or 5 guests, perhaps. The back of the queue that was there is now right about here, I think. 3:42, 3 minutes later. Cheers, Fresh Bake. Let's go look at that tip board. I feel like that was such a validation. And that's some damn good horchata right there. Horchata agua fresca. I'm about it. That's delicious. And away we go. Looking for Golden Zephyr is closed. It's slightly breezy. Goofy Sky School, 45 minutes and return time in 2 hours. That's pretty strong. Oh, I'm sorry. It's no longer 45 minutes. It is now 25. We saw 55 the other day and we got in on like, what, 7 minutes? It was posted 55 and we got in 7 minutes. That was crazy. Grizzly River Run, 60 with a return time of 2 hours. It's a warm day. Guardians has gone up from 55. I said that was a bargain at the time and it turned out to be the case. Compared to other, Guardians situations, now 70 minutes and there's no Genie Plus or Lightning Lane being offered. And Credit Coaster's at 35. I'm looking across the bay and it looks a little busy down there. Return time in just 10 minutes though. Emotional Whirlwind is 30. Jesse's is a walk-on. Jumpin' Jellyfish is a walk-on. Oh, there's the breeze. Yeah, it is a little windy right now. The breeze just kicked in, almost knocked over my camera. Little Mermaid is closed. I can confirm that looking behind me. Luigi's is 30. That's where we left it. Mater's is 5 now. I should go back and ride. Monsters is still down or low at 25 minutes. We saw it at 20. People have gotten fed up with waiting an hour for Monsters Inc., I guess. Return time in a half an hour. Radiator Springs Racer is still closed, which is what I would have expected. Silly Symphony Swings is 15 minutes, and I'm just realizing that I didn't turn on my camera. Or did I turn it off? I don't know. I was not recording the B-roll that's behind this shot. Okay, Silly Symphony's 15 minutes. Probably, yeah. Soarin' at 45 in a return time of an hour and a half. That's kind of a bargain. Toy Story, 40 minutes. Remember when we walked on to that attraction? Didn't we walk onto that attraction 2 weeks ago? Or nearly? I think it was like 15 minutes. Return time in 3 hours. Web Slingers is down to 35. Return time in an hour and 15 minutes. And that's it. So I would say that tip board reconciles with what we've seen in the park so far today. There are isolated spots where it is busy. The most popular attractions obviously are still going to be pretty busy. They're still going to collect guests, but the density here, the spaces are pretty wide open, and the less than popular attractions are seeing less than their usual wait times. And I'm going to take this opportunity to admire the bridge that leads up to Pixar Pier. I love this setting. It's taken me a long time to appreciate this, but I truly do love this setting. This bay right here, they hit a complete home run right here with this whole scene. I love it. But one thing I want to observe today is just how awesome it is to go to Lamplight Lounge. What they did here, I mean, the Cove Bar and etc. was still pretty good also, but Lamplight Lounge just as a location is wonderful. I've had a couple opportunities to dine here in recent times, and I really enjoyed it, but especially the little peninsula, that section there with the little fire, you know, that they give you. But being there at dusk, you know, after dinner, or have dinner, or get drinks after dinner, every now and then you just got to go ahead and do something that's really fun. Every now and then, it's because I'm a thrifty guy, frugal. I don't like to spend money when I don't have to, and I especially don't like buying $14 drinks or $20 drinks. Not a fan of that. But every now and then, you got to do something like that and just enjoy yourself, which I'll be doing tonight, by the way. Liz and I are going to be hanging out with some friends. I think we're going to try to go to Din Tai Fung. I will give you an update on that. So when we spoke last about Din Tai Fung on the last construction report, I mentioned that it was a 2.5 hour wait to get on the waiting list. We're trying to get on the list today. As I speak now, Liz is out there in downtown Disney, you know, trying to get on the list. It was a 45-minute wait at Din Tai Fung. It is 4 o'clock right now. They said to come back at 4 to put our names on the list if we wanted to eat at 6 or 6:30, which, so that's what we did. And they're like, no, you're still too early. I was prepared to wait 2.5 hours, but it's a 45-minute wait right now on a Friday afternoon to go eat at Din Tai Fung. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what that means. But I do love this. I love the entrance into Pixar Pier. I love looking out at the bay. I love looking at the pier from the bay. Oh, they're testing. They just started testing the World of Color fountains there. I love that. I love the look. I love hearing the screams. And I love walking up to the boardwalk to Pixar Pier. Let's go to Pixar Pier. Nice little preview of Pixar Pier, am I right? Let's go see what's up. Already, look at, this is kind of surprising to me. It's still a good 80 degrees out. What is it? Hey, how are you? It's 81 now. Temperature has gone up 2 degrees since we started. And Adorable Snowman has just what, maybe 8 or 10 people in the queue right now? 10 people in the queue right now? That's practically nothing for a night. God, I would give my right arm for a Pixar Pier parfait right now if I didn't already just have a horchata. Strong vibe coming out of the pier right now, though. Strong vibe. Feels good to be here. No presents over here in single rider. Just about 10 guests there, and another 10 there, and then a few more coming out of the elevator there. Standby, hey guys, standby doesn't look too bad. The back of the queue is right about there. You can see them flowing in, which would put the back of the queue at that second switch back there, which is practically nothing, considering what we've been seeing in the past. And as we approach the threshold here, the posted wait time still says 35 minutes. But I would be shocked if it's even half that. 20 minutes on the top side, I would guess right now. Hey, all right. I do see some lightning lane there. They're very excited. Oh God, I love hearing people be excited about going on these rides. That's a decent lightning lane queue, actually. You know, seeing them stuck here, which means they're letting in a lot of standby, though. If these guys are stuck, they've been holding for something. But there they go. Now they've been released. Still, I would say probably closer to 20 minutes here at Incredicoaster. As popular an attraction as Incredicoaster is, they do a very good job of cycling guests through that ride. They're running, you know, they run 2 separate tracks, loading 2 separate tracks. There's only 1 track to ride, but so that helps a lot. But they do a very good job. That, you know, you put that attraction and that queue at Knott's Berry Farm, and you're gonna wait an hour and a half for a Incredicoaster. That's literally the comparison. When you talk about Ghost Rider versus Incredicoaster, they can turn a 90-minute queue, a 2-hour queue into a 30-minute queue, easy. What about Toy Story Midway Mania, posted at 35 minutes. And it's probably not that either. We can't see the back of the queue. There is it is starting to build up a queue here. But when we were here 2 weeks ago, we waited at about the end of that U-turn where that switchback is, and that was about maybe 15 minutes. So you figure another 10 minutes to there. So yeah, probably 25 minutes seems pretty reasonable. Now, I haven't seen very many people getting into the Lightning Lane queue. In fact, there's none in there right now. It's empty, the Lightning Lane queue is. Or no, I take that back. Those 4 guests right there next to the red hat. But it's a return time at 7 p.m., 2.5 hours from now. So there are still people waiting to cash in their Lightning Lane. Or better put, there are still lots more people who have purchased GD Plus and who have made a reservation that haven't yet used their Lightning Lane. So they're gonna show up in that queue at some point. Maybe not right now, maybe after the parade perhaps, although that parade does not draw. The Better Together parade does not draw guests. As for the Pixar Pal Around swinging gondola waiting 30 minutes, they are in a hurry to go get a non-swinging gondola, which is currently at 15 minutes. I agree to those terms. I have a desire to ride this attraction right now. A, because it's fun and I love the view. But 2, I want to get a look at backstage behind the Avengers headquarters to see if there's any kind of movement back there, or once again to set a new benchmark, a new baseline for how things look today, so we can start tracking whether or not they're doing anything back there for that e-ticket. And oh my gosh, look at the back of this queue. It's right here. That may not even be 15 minutes. Let's find out. We got in this queue at 4:25. 4:40, so 15 minutes exactly. Let's pal around. That was a nice break there from the afternoon, getting to ride Pixar Pal Around for a little bit. Got some nice views of the park, of course, but I also got to see a little bit of backstage there behind Avengers headquarters. Nothing really stood out. We'll talk about that in the construction video, or we probably already did before you see this. But yeah, we're still, nothing happening back there. There's one crane. I'll keep my eye on that one. Meantime, we'll continue our afternoon. Emotional Whirlwind, posted at 20 minutes. Probably 15 is my guess. 20 minutes. I mean, it's a, I saw 30 minutes of the typical report. I'm like, how is that even possible? Who's gonna wait 30 minutes for Emotional Whirlwind? I don't know. Did I read that right? Inside Out 2 is now the 3rd highest grossing animated film of all time. It beat Frozen. I mean, Frozen was 10 or 12 years ago, maybe? I don't know, it was a long time ago. But still, that's out of absolutely nowhere did Inside Out 2 arrive. I mean, that could have, if it had flopped, I would have been as equally non-surprised. Well, I would have been not surprised, I should say. This is the shocker. It's at like 1.25 billion now. Who knew? Silly Symphony Swings is posted at 5 minutes, by the way. That's the back of the queue right there on the stairs. So you're looking at just 2 rotations there. So, I mean, unless, I don't know, maybe they can get all those guests onto the next swing. That's some easy math. I haven't done it yet, but that's really easy math in terms of figuring out how to hack Silly Symphony Swings. 1 set of jellyfish only. Oh no, they are running 2. There they go. That's great. That's like Casey Jr. level of efficiency. So that's a 5-minute wait. Hey, how are you? 5-minute wait there for jumping jellyfish. 2 weeks ago, we got a bargain here at Goofy Sky School. It was posted 55 and it took about 8 minutes. We actually rode. It was amazing. This is posted at 45 and it is all that. There's your standby. Actually, I don't see any lightning lane though. There's 2 guests in the lightning lane queue up there, but nothing on the ramp here. Oh, there goes a couple right there. So there's your standby there. And they're all the way out here in the yard. And that's a lot of guests in the yard too. That's a little more than I usually see out here. And of course, no sooner do I talk about lightning lane, do I see now probably 20 guests in that queue. So that's gonna be 45, probably, if they keep working like that. Ay, ay, ay. No discount today, although I will still say this has been a visitable park today. Very visitable, very doable park today for sure. That's not ideal, but that's actually kind of normal for Goofy Sky School. So you haven't really lost much there in that regard. We were talking about entertainment cuts earlier, and I mentioned there was going to be one more cut right here on this parade corridor is where you might normally find the Green Army Men. They perform here, you know, 4 or 5 times a day. And I was checking the calendar, the entertainment calendar, and the Green Army Men have dropped off the calendar starting August 5th, right after Pixar Fest ends, or the same day that Pixar Fest ends. The Green Army Men come off the calendar, the entertainment calendar, for an indeterminate amount of time. So I don't know if that's part of the cuts or not. I had heard a rumor that it might be the case, and I guess that does seem to be the case. I'm not sure where to attribute that. Like, is that... I don't think the Green Army Men are part of that new union. I'm pretty sure they're part of the old union, the same union that represents the face characters that you see, or not the face characters, yeah. No, not the face characters, the performers, like Doctor Strange. That's old union. The new union is for like parade characters, and characters you might see on the Mark Twain during Fantasmic or something like that. Costumed characters, I think. We walked right by Golden Zephyr. Okay, the Golden Zephyr is back up, it's running. It looks like they got a full complement of guests on the top deck and even some guests down below, so they're running at about 10 or 15 minutes. Really though, recon isn't needed for Golden Zephyr. If you want to go, you go. That's it. Same thing for Silly Symphony Swings. There's just not a lot of queues that I would be afraid of under any circumstances. Just if you want to go, go. That's it. Hi guys. We looked at tip board before. Little Mermaid was closed. And it, well, there are guests. Is there? It's open. There's guests going down that way. There's nobody in this queue out here at all. Now is it, what, that's got to be like a walk-on, 5 minutes, maybe they just reopened. It's been about an hour now, a little more than an hour since we were looking at the tip board. Yeah, I think they did. I think they just reopened now. Normally you don't see this. Normally you don't see a queue out here in the parade corridor for people chomping at the bit to get into Little Mermaid. They must have just reopened it, so they haven't adjusted any of the chains, any of the stanchions. I'm gonna have to Frogger my way through. Oops, sorry, through that queue a little bit there. There we go, made it. Okay. You know, one thing that I haven't had a chance to talk about today that I've been meaning to. I was actually thinking about talking about it in the last State of Disneyland report, but I saved it for the DCA. But okay, so Oogie Boogie tickets went on sale. It went okay. Actually, there was more drama for Magic Keys to get their tickets on those advanced days. We had two advanced days, Inspire Keys did. That was more difficult to get a ticket during those days than it was on the public offering. That was easy. I got in there. I got a couple tickets. I was helping Adam get tickets, and I got in there no problem. I waited like 20 minutes maybe in the queue, and then boop, there you go. And then it actually wound up. They just sold out a couple days ago. Now there wasn't like a lot of dates available, but the final date sold out a couple days ago. It took about a week to sell out, and that's quite a departure from last year, where it took a day. I think it was less than a day for them to sell out, and we were putting the blame on resellers. I'm wondering, well, they added more dates, but I mean, if they're adding more dates, I feel like resellers just would have picked those up too. Is that what did they make it, making more dates available? Did that make it sell out less quickly? I don't know. What is is the hype? Are people still as excited? That's the question. Are people still excited? I felt this way last year. I felt my enthusiasm for the event kind of waning a little bit last year. I don't recall what exactly was the reason for that, but a lot of it has to do with, I think it was just kind of the same event that they do each year. They added Judge Doom, which is fine. That was great actually, but that was pretty much the only update to the event, and I've heard nothing.
Also, we pay for the passes.
Nothing at all in terms of them adding anything to this year's event. So what is your hype level for Oogie Boogie? How are you feeling about going this year? Did you feel the same urgency, the same desire to go this year than you would have in years past? I know some people still really love it. I think it's a fun show. It's a lot. Maybe what I was feeling last year was that maybe I didn't want to vlog it. I remember that was a feeling. I'm like, if we go this year, maybe I don't vlog it. Maybe we just go and have a good time, because I didn't feel like there was any urgency to the vlog. And I might still not do that this year. If we do, it'll be very casual. I'm certainly not going to try to, be a part commando about it. I'm not going to try to dominate the night. I'll probably just do it very casually, hang out with friends, that kind of thing. But I was curious what you guys feel about that. Did you try to get tickets? Did you have any, luck or inability to get tickets? How do you feel about Oogie Boogie Bash this year? Good thing is that this year they are hard coding some of those Villains Grove effects into the Redwood Creek Challenge this year and for years forward. Not all of it will be permanent, but some of the features will be permanent. That's why Redwood Creek has been closed for a while this past summer, is because they are updating Redwood Creek for that purpose, to make it more permanent. As for Grizzly River Run, while we were doing that little bit about Oogie Boogie Bash, I could hear over the speaker that they sound like the attraction broke down. It is presently at 55 minutes, as it should be. It should be more than that, really, on a day like this. And I was gonna say, yeah, they just took the time off the board. And they're telling everybody now over the speaker that the attraction is down. Well, you never really want to hear that when you're standing in a queue. Is that like the worst possible thing you can hear over the speakers is, we're sorry, it's gonna take a while. We had that today on the Disneyland Railroad, the Mark Twain, and the monorail. In all three cases, during shooting our construction this morning, we had pretty significant delays, 30 minutes or so. The Disneyland Railroad, I think I have video of this, this is not, I didn't slow this down, this is the actual speed of us going around the rivers of America. And then on the Mark Twain, I didn't film it because we were just parked at the dock for like 20 minutes before launching. And then the monorail, we saw the monorail coming in backwards, which I don't think I've ever seen that before. That was pretty interesting, but we did manage to get everything done. And with that, we have found the back of the queue. So it's not bad. I mean, it's just, we were here a couple weeks ago, and it was all this, of course, but this was full, or not, a lot of this was full out here. They had a lot of these switchbacks on the bridge and stuff with guests, but not so much today. That's a quick 55 as 55-minute queues go, if the attraction is up. we go. What's up? That brings us to Soarin', and if you're ever in the market for Soarin' around the world or California, and you're coming in from that Grizzly Trail and you see the queue running back here, that's not a good sign. I don't like seeing queue right there already. Not a fan. The park feels like it's picking up steam a little bit. Something I observed when we were doing our recon session, we were doing some park science, and I thought the last 4 hours of Disneyland, the crowds tend to, drift down. But here, it's the opposite, I'm finding. And this is what we're experiencing right now. It's 5:15 as I record this, and it feels like the levels are rising. And as opposed, it's less busy here in the middle of the day than it is in the evening. And I asked a question in that video, or in the follow-up video, like, why? Why would that be? Why is this the opposite? And I got pretty consistent responses. Some of you are probably saying in your heads right now. And I think I would agree. I think the reason for that is it's very scientific. And the answer is beer. I'm pretty sure the answer is beer, micheladas, and margaritas. And that brings us to a 45-minute standby queue here for Soarin'. And normally, I like to see it just right here, that's it, but it's going all the way down the corner back there. Now, there's no lightning lane, that's it, those two guests alone. So there's not a lot of influence on lightning lane, so that's good. So it'll go a little bit quicker, and I would assume that they're running 2 theaters at least. If they were down one, that would be, you would see that 45 turn to 90. And if you ever see that at Soarin', if you ever see it go from 45 to 90 or 90 down to 45 or something like that, almost assuredly, that's what that is they were down a theater and then the theater came back, or they lost a theater, and it either doubles or halves when that happens. Hey, look, there's our 3rd red card trolley of the day. And we're back at Carthay Circle. What a delight. Lovely day. Lovely day. Not too hot, not too busy. Delightful. Just the way I like it. I would hope that many guests would find these conditions to be agreeable. I found this park to be very agreeable today. On its worst days, DCA can be really difficult because of lightning lane, because so many of the attractions here, basically all of the good attractions here are lightning lane. There's really very few breaks. So if you don't have lightning lane and it's busy and people are using it, it just makes standby unbearable almost. We've had some very difficult times here at DCA, so it's nice when it's like this. It's a nice break, especially so you don't have to, spend that $25 for Genie Plus, etc., or lightning lane multipass in a couple months. So it was really a really agreeable day today. Although, yeah, it's definitely getting a little busier here on Buena Vista Street. Get ready for the evening crowd. Well, certain that's a thing. I'm gonna put that to the test here in short order. But for now, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you watch our most recent State of Disneyland report, and if you haven't already, check out our Radiator Springs Racers video. We should have had that out by now. 30 rides on Radiator Springs Racers. I teach you the best way, how to manage, how to beat Radiator Springs Racers if it can be beat at all. And then follow us on Instagram at _FreshBaked, on Twitter at FreshBakedDisney, that's fresh with no E, and on TikTok at FreshBakedDisney. If you like this show and want to show you support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/FreshBaked. Thanks again for watching, everybody. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.